Hi everyone. I know you are eagerly waiting to get the admission in Navodaya schools, isn't it? I'm Santosh and I'm here to take the classes of mental ability and arithmetic. This is completely different from your academics. Here, the learning procedure, application, and presentation, these all are different. In mental ability, the questions will be asked to check your brain capacity. Sometimes you have to change your way of thinking. Okay, so now I will ask you one question. Let us see how many of you will give the answer for this, right? Okay, the question is, a handle of the coffee cup lies in which side? Once again, a handle of the coffee cup lies in which side? Okay, so if you tell it is on left side, I will turn it to right side. If you tell that is on right side, I will turn it to left side. So what is the perfect answer? Can you tell? Yes, exactly. It lies outside of the cup. So that is the perfect answer. Now I can't turn it to inside of the cup, no? Isn't it? So if you think only in one way, you can't get the answer, so that you have to come out of it, isn't it? And here, to improve your brain capacity, the best way is to do maths. Mathematics will definitely improve your brain capacity, and that impact definitely will be there in all the other subjects. Okay, right. Now, let us see what are the topics are there in what is the syllabus of arithmetic for this now the entrance test. Okay, let us see that. See here, I will share the screen now. Please wait. Yeah, see here. Mathematical knowledge test. See here, this one. Here, number theory, LCM and HCF, fractions and decimals, decimal fractions, unitary method, average, percentage, profit and loss, simple interest, ratio and proportion, area, perimeter and volume, square root, lines and angles, triangles, temperature, or Roman numerals, and algebra. So these all are the topics are there, okay, in your syllabus. So one by one we have to do all. So you have to here you have to give the preference for all the chapters. Okay. So first we'll start with fractions and decimals. Okay. Before going to that one, in decimals, I will ask you one question in decimals. So here you need to observe one thing. Some questions will be there. Those questions you have to answer. You have to use pen and paper and you have to answer it. But some questions you have to go through the options. All the questions are objective type only. So here you will get 4 options. So you have to go through the options. Then you will get the answer quickly. Okay, so 2 ways are there. If you go through this way, you can get the answer quickly, but it is not possible for all the questions. Okay, I will tell you one question. For example, I will tell you one question. See here. See this one. Suppose 65.32356 plus 35.54567 plus 74.28764 plus 86.983888 is there. Okay, we need to add these all actually. But here it will take at least 3 to 4 minutes time to add all these digits, isn't it? But here, if you observe the answers, here you have to go through the options. You have to get the answer by observing the answer by observing the options here. See here, in these 4 options, what is the correct answer? No need to add all these numbers. Instead of that one, if you add the units places, that means here if you add the last digits, that means here 6 is there, 6 plus 7, that is 13, 13 plus 4, that is 17, 17 plus 8, that is 25. That means the last digit is 5. So which number ends with 5 here? This one, yes. So B is the option, isn't it? No other number is ending with 5 here. So definitely this will become the answer, isn't it? Here, what I have done here, I didn't do the calculation. I didn't use pen and paper, isn't it? But I said the answer quickly. I didn't take much time to answer this one. Just I added the last digits so that I got the answer. Okay, and sometimes the questions will be like this also. Here also you have to go through the options only. See the options here. See the question here. Here the last digit is 5. Here the last digit is 4. So 5 plus 4, that is 9. 9 plus 3, that is 12. 12 plus 2, that is 14. So the last digit of the answer should be 4, isn't it? Right. But here if you see, these two options contains 4. So in this case, we have to go for the next digit. That means here before 4, here 0 is there. Before 4, here 2 is there. So here two different answers, two different digits are there. So if you go for the next digit, you will get the answer. See the next digit now. Here you got 14 previously. So 1 is remainder. So 1 plus I am adding the second digits here. From the last second digit I am adding. So 1 plus 5, that is 6. 6 plus 6, that is 12. 12 plus 6, that is 18. 18 plus 2, that is 20. So the next digit should be 0. 20 means the last digit is 0. So the next digit should be 0. So this is our answer, isn't it? Did you understand this? So through the options, we have to get the answer quickly. Understand? Right. Here, now we will do fractions and decimals. First, if you go through the fractions, see, can you see the screen? Yes, fractions. First of all, what is a fraction? Do you, I think you all know about the fractions, isn't it? What is a fraction? Actually, here has taken a line that is let it be a rod. AB is a rod. Complete. It is a complete rod. AB is a rod. Now, if we divide this rod into 4 equal parts, that means see here, 4 equal parts means here he has taken AC is one part, CD is one part, and DE is one part, and EB is one part. So totally he has divided it into 4 parts, isn't it? Now, each part is called a fraction here. AC is a fraction. So here it is one part out of 4 parts, isn't it? AC is one part out of 4 parts. So it is 1 by 4. In the same way, CD is one part out of 4 parts. D is one part out of 4 parts. EB is one part out of 4 parts. So each is called a fraction here. Understand? And for example, 2 by 3, 5 by 9, and 3 by 8, these all are called fractions. Right? Okay. And I think you know very well, in the fraction, the upper one is called numerator and the down one is called denominator. So here 2 is numerator and 3 is denominator, isn't it? Right. Now comparing of fractions. So what type of questions they will ask in the exam? Comparison of fractions. That means which fraction is bigger, which fraction is smaller. Okay, otherwise you have to add the fractions, you have to subtract the fractions. These are all things. If you want to do all these things, definitely you have to compare those fractions, isn't it? So how to compare the fractions? See here, when two fractions have the same denominator, the greater fraction is that which has the greater numerator. That means if you see 5 by 8 and 3 by 8, these two are the fractions. So here, whenever the denominator is equal, those fractions are called like fractions. Okay, so here, if you see, the both denominators contains 8. So both denominators are equal here. So that now we need to compare the numerators. So which numerator is bigger, that fraction will become greatest fraction, isn't it? So in 5 and 3, which one is big? 5 is big. So obviously 5 by 8 is the greatest fraction. Okay, like this we have to decide. And rule number 2, when two fractions have the same numerator, the greater is that which has the smaller denominator. That means, for example, 5 by 3 and 5 by 4 is there. Here, if you observe, the numerators are equal. Here, the first numerator is 5, as well as the second numerator is also 5, isn't it? So here, whenever the numerators are equal, here we need to compare the denominators. In the denominators, which denominator is smaller, that fraction is bigger. Okay, which denominator is smaller, that fraction is bigger fraction. Why? Because here the denominator is smaller means that is divided into minimum number of parts. That means, for example, if you have the chocolate, okay, you have to share the chocolate to 2 members. This is one task. And the second task is you have to share the chocolate to 4 members. So which case you will get the bigger one? If you share the chocolate to 2 members, then only you will get the bigger one. That means here, if the denominator is smaller, then you will get that fraction will become the greater fraction. So in 5 by 3 and 5 by 4, 5 by 3 is the greater fraction. Okay, right. Now, the rule 3. If 2 or more fractions with the different denominators are to be compared, they must be reduced to equivalent fractions. That means here, if you want to compare the fractions, definitely the fractions should be equivalent. That means the denominator should be same. If the denominators are same, you can compare the numerators and you can tell which is bigger, otherwise which is smaller. Okay. So here the first thing is, if you want to compare the fractions, you have to make those fractions as like fractions. Understand? Right. Just wait. Now the questions are like this. See here. Yeah, see this type of questions. 5 by 4. See here. 5 by 4 and 5 by 7 and 5 by 6 is there. In this case, the numerators are equal. Now see here, 3 by 8 and 4 by 8 and 5 by 8 are there. In these three fractions, which one is greater? The denominators are equal, then we call these as like fractions, isn't it? So in these like fractions, whatever numerator is bigger, which numerator is bigger, that is called the greatest fraction, isn't it? So here, if you observe, the numerator is 3, here the numerator is 4, here the numerator is 5. So obviously, 5 by 8 is bigger fraction. It is the greatest fraction, isn't it? Right. So here, if you see this, here the numerators are equal. Whenever the numerators are equal, which denominator is greater, that is the least fraction. So here 7 is greater number than all these two. So that as 7 is greater number, 5 by 7 will become the smallest fraction. Why? Because this is divided into so many parts, so that it will become the smallest one. Is that clear? Right. Now after this, decimal fractions. Decimal fractions or decimal numbers also are there. So how to do the decimal numbers addition and subtraction, we have to do all this, and multiplication is also. Here the multiplication is very easy. Why? Because see here, I will tell you how to multiply and how to divide the decimals. Here, in particular case, that means when you are multiplying, I am taking a decimal number 38.273. Okay, so if you multiply this one, then we have to move the point towards the right side. If you are dividing, then the point should move left side. So how many digits we have to move? That is important, no? So here it based on the number of zeros it contains. That means if you are multiplying by 10, 10 contains only one zero, isn't it? So that as we are multiplying with 10, the point should move right side up to one digit. That means the point should move from here to here. So that the number will become 382.73. Understand? So here the same number 38.273 is there. If you multiply this one by 100, 100 contains two zeros, isn't it? As you are multiplying, point should move right side. How many digits it has to move now? As 100 contains two zeros, it has to move right side up to two digits. So that the number will become 3827.3, 3827.3. I move the point towards right side up to two digits. Understand? Now here, if you divide, whenever you are dividing a number, dividing a decimal number, the point should move left side, towards left side it has to move. Understand? So that here, see the example, 382.79 is there, for example. It should be divided by 10. So as you are dividing this number by 10, as 10 contains one zero, you need to move the point towards left side up to one digit only. See here, as I am doing division, I have to move the point towards left side. As it contains one zero, it should move up to one digit only. So the point should come from here to here. So it will become 38.279. Okay, now 382.79 is there, which has to be divided by 100 now. Okay, now what to do here? The point should move towards left side up to two digits. Why? Because here 100 contains two zeros, no? That's why. So it will become 3.8279. Is that clear? Right. Now, see, 38.7 is there. It should be multiplied by 100. See here 38.7, after point only one digit is there. But here, as you are multiplying by 100, it should move towards right side up to two digits. But here only one digit is there. No? In this case, what to do? So that we need to keep 0 here. Now you can able to move the point towards right side up to two digits, 1 and 2. So it will become 3870. Is that clear? In the same way, if 3.82 is there, we should be divided by 100. So as you are dividing by 100, it should move towards left side up to two digits. But here only one digit is there. No? In this case, we have to keep the point, keep the 0 here, so that we can move the point up to two digits, 1 and 2. So it will become 0.0382. 0.0382 is nothing but 0.0382. Is that clear to all? Very good. So like this, some more examples are there, and lot of methods are there in fractions and decimals. Okay, we have to do all these, and everyday practice is required. Okay, with the practice only you will get the perfection. If you are perfect, then only you can perform well. Your presentations will be good, isn't it? So practice well. Day by day I will give the homeworks. You have to finish those, and you have to practice daily. Daily practice is compulsory. Understand? Right. Bye everyone.